What we want to do is to add hyperlinks to our table of contents. So when we click on the table of contents, it will actually take you to that page. And the first thing that we have to do is create the table of contents. Here, if you look, I've got table of contents. I actually have it on page III. Then I've set up overview on page 1. I've set up history on page 3. I've added font designer on page 9. Sections usually start on the right-hand page. And if you notice, your page numbering is always going to be even on the left-hand side and odd on the right-hand side. If when setting up your page numbers, you try to set up a page number so that it starts page 1 on the left-hand side, what will generally happen if you are using layout, numbering, and section options is that you'll get a break. Your section will end here. Well, if you've got it set up to start on an even page, the even page will be on the left-hand side, and there'll generally be a break in your numbering. So anyway, just to be aware of that. So we're going to go back to table of contents, overview 1. Let me just do one more thing. Window, workspace, typography. Character styles. There's a hyperlink style. I'm going to delete that for now. See what happens. Okay, table of contents we've got, and I've added these numbers in manually. There are some ways in InDesign that you can have it automatically do the numbering for sections. It has to do with paragraph styles, and it's worth looking up if you're interested in doing it that way. So I'm going to go to Window. I'm going to go to Interactive. I'm going to go to Hyperlinks. And so I have a hyperlink palette now. I'm going to select this page. Under hyperlinks, I'm going to go to the options, new hyperlink. The default is linked to URL. We click on the options here and we change it to page. Page number 1. You can do it through the drop down. If you have, a several hundred page document, that's not going to work so well, and it'd be better to type the page numbers in. But you can, in what we're dealing with, you can use the drop down. So I'm going to set that to 1. Click OK. History 3. New hyperlink. Again, set to page. Set to page 3. Click OK. Here. New hyperlink. Page 9. Notice that the character style says hyperlink. We had deleted that hyperlink style, but it's created a new one. Click OK. Okay, and so we have these table of contents links, and we want to then style them differently. So you'll notice that all the hyperlink default style is to make things blue and underlined, which is more or less the default in web design. And so we want to create something that's going to work, that's going to look more attractive, or perhaps fit better with the style that you're using already. So I'm going to go to character styles, and I'm going to double click on hyperlink. Actually, I'm going to do this. Well, okay, yes. So there's some things that get covered in character styles, and there's some things that get covered in paragraph styles. Character color, I'm going to change it to black, and then I'm going to change it to a tint. In other words, a lighter version of that color. So I get something that's more like gray. So you just notice them changing to gray. I'm also going to go back to basic character formats and uncheck underline. Okay. And next, I'm going to take this and I'm going to add our dot leaders. So there's a tab right here. If I go to type, show hidden characters, you'll see I have my tab indicators, my paragraph indicators. In this particular version, I'm working on a layer on the page number layers. And actually, I want to move that back. So you'll notice that the indicators are in red. I'm going to move this type back onto the layer 1, and you'll notice that they change color. So you can use those colors to tell what layers you're creating things on. Okay, next. Click on here, go to type, go to tabs. I get my ruler, get rid of the layers. I'm going to create a tab, make it a right tab. Give it a leader dots. I'm going to give it a space and a period. And then if I click over here in the number setting, you'll see that that changes. Okay, and then in order to have this show up on the other choices, I'm going to go to my paragraph styles. I'm going to make a new paragraph style, and I'll call it TOC. Apply style to selection is turned on. Color. I'm going to click OK. And actually, I think I can turn off on my character styles. I can turn off this hyperlink style because I have all of these character attributes in my paragraph style. So that's set to none. Go back to my paragraph styles, select all 3 of those and hit TOC. And now I have my table of contents. And I have my hyperlinks. Click on that, that's overview 1. history 3, font designer 9. I can take these and actually rearrange them so that they're in order, which might be easier to work with. Back to my black arrow. Not really. Doesn't want to move around. Well, I'm not going to argue with it. You would think you could remove those around, but they're not interested, so I'm going to ignore that. Okay. So I have my document, I have my hyperlinks. I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to go File, Export. And I'm going to export in format instead of Adobe PDF Print, which is what normally comes up as the default. I'm going to change it to Adobe PDF Interactive, which is above it. And I'm going to save it. And in my case, I'm going to replace it. And I want to turn on spreads. The default will be pages, and you want to turn it to spreads. All pages. And I'm going to open it in full screen mode. And click Export. And here's my document. Click yes. You didn't need to do that. You didn't need to do full page mode, but, and I don't have there's no page, nothing on these pages. This was just a demo, but here's my table of contents. And I can click Overview, and it takes me to Overview. I can go to History, and it takes me to History. And I can go to Font Designer, and it takes me to Font Designer. So all that works.